Good afternoon and welcome to the Happy Half Hour. I'm Leigh Kubin.
And I'm Sandra Priestley. Welcome to our podcast. Happy Thursday.
Happy Thursday.
I'm so
Girl,
excited to hear how your week has been.
I got up one day and I had a clear morning. And I'm looking at my list of things I need to get done and I start working. And I'm like, I'm just going to work from the house today because everything that I had in the afternoon was on Zoom.
Nice.
And I was like, I don't need to go into the office. I can do everything that I need to do here. And so I'm getting through my to-do list and I thought, I'm really good. Paul and I can do anything right now. And I got this cover the dining room chairs.
Oh,
Well,
cool.
it's been on our list. So he comes into the kitchen and I said, hey, do you want to go get fabric today to cover the dining room chairs? And he said, yeah. So I get online and find about 3 different fabric places. And we start with one and we walk in and he immediately leads me to the aisle with the upholstery fabric. And I'm looking for like solids. I'm not using my imagination a whole lot. And he points to this floral print that I would never pick. And I was like, no. And he said, but I did not say that. I just went, huh. And he said, the reason I picked that is because it has all of our colors in it. And it would go with our table, it would go with our paint, it would be a perfect blend. And I went, oh, well, it's flowers and it's growth and it's wood
And
and
what law is your dining room in?
it's in the fame and reputation area.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, it'll feed the fire.
Yep.
And then we have 2 chairs in the bedroom that would also be covered. And I'm thinking, and so that's wood and growth in our wealth area.
Mhm.
So why not? And then I look at the price, and for all 6 chairs, it was less than $20. And once he
What?
saw the price, he goes, well, even if we get it and we hate it, we can just replace it. We got the fabric, we came home, and he starts measuring and cutting, and he's taking the chairs.
You're replacing these yourself.
Oh, yeah, we're handy.
Wow.
We're handy like that.
No kidding.
So he's like, okay, I'm going to work on the cushions and I want you to clean the chairs. Easton destroyed his chair. And that's where it started. And so for a while, he was going from chair to chair to chair to, and just dirtying them all up. And then finally, I said, no more. He gets one chair, and this is it. And I did not let that poor child sit on any other chair. It was like not happening. So I'm scrubbing. We started with his chair, scrubbing his chair, and then it hit me. This is in your fame and reputation area.
Mm.
This grime, this, and so
Yeah.
it shifted something for me in that moment. Like, ooh. So we get all 6 chairs done, and I come back in here to get on a Zoom call. And I'm looking at the chair sitting in here with that new fabric next to this painting. And I went, nope, not happening. And then I'm like, no, 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 you have to figure out a way to make it okay. So I'm like, okay, it's growth, it's wood, it's the wealth area. Like, it'll be fine.
Hmm.
And I did my calls in here and it was fine. But every time I walked in the room, it was just glaring at me like, I don't belong here.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm washing my face that night and I'm standing in the bathroom looking at him, going, how do I make myself like you? And then I had the thought, well, what would you want there? And I said, well, I want my purple high back chairs that I've wanted for years. That's what I want. But they're about $150 a piece, and I'm not spending 300 and some odd dollars on chairs. Well, you don't know how much they are. This is the conversation going on.
Yeah, in your mind. Yeah.
Why don't you just get on Wayfair and just see? And at least then you can maybe put it on a vision board and manifest them. Oh, that's not a bad idea. So I get on Wayfair and they are, I think it was $267 or something for a set of two. I thought, well, wow, that's not bad, but I'm still not spending that much money. Well, why don't you just look on Amazon? Maybe they'll have something. Go to Amazon. Two chairs for $150. Oh, and then I have this coupon or this, not coupon, a credit. I ended up paying $108 for two
Nice.
chairs. And it was the chairs that I wanted. And
Love
they're
them.
beautiful deep purple.
Mm-hmm.
And they are so comfy. And they look better in here than those other ones did before they were recovered.
Yeah.
It fits, it matches our bedspread, it matches our painting. It's two representing the two of us. And
Mm-hmm.
I order them and then I'm like, well, you should probably tell Paul. And so I told him, I said, yeah, I can't with that fabric. So, because I'm at this point, I'm moving them out of the room.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, well, I'll just take that off and we'll go back to the original. And I said, oh, it's too late. I've already ordered chairs. But it's been that sort of thing where I get this impulse and it feels good and I act and I get the impulse. And I'm looking at Easton and I'm listening to the teachers give reports about him on how he's such a different kid, like how far he's come and how much progress he's made. Is he perfect? He still has his days, but,
And so do we as
and
adults.
so do we. We're all human. But from where he was to where he is in this very short span of time has sort of made my mind go, holy shit. And I have been reading to him every night that I have him. Like we've missed a week when he was in spring break with his great grandparents. And we have missed a couple of nights on the weekends, like if we're staying up late and or watching a movie or doing something. But for the most part, it has been 6 weeks of reading and reinforcing and talking about how we're feeling and what we want and what we can do. And it's shifted his point of focus enough that everyone around him is going, holy hell. And it occurred to me, we are no different. And what I have done is put, this is what we want as the goal. I hate to use that word in this context, but it's given him something to focus on and think about and work on without realizing that he's even working on it.
Right.
And I thought, why am I not doing that? Like he has been my focus solely for the last 6 weeks. But what if I put that energy, not to take it away from him, because that's just something that will have to continue. But I can also do that with other areas of my life. And sitting in playfulness and listening for those nudges of this sounds interesting,
Mhm.
and moving in that direction, what that all begins to open up. And I'm excited, like with my small business group for health and wellness. We did a whole thing today on a 30-day consistency challenge, looking at what do we want for our business and what are the steps that we need to take and what will we commit to doing every day for 30 days just to see what will shift. Because if it's true for him, it's true for that and anything else that we want to work on.
Right.
And this situation has shown me so many of those moments. Like, it's not fun necessarily going through it all, but there are pieces of it that are. And there are so many moments of learning and growing and revelation for me, like aha moments that I'm sure the universe is like, do you get it now?
Finally, she's listening.
Yeah. Yeah.
We, well, I mean, that's the same, that's with weight loss. It's with absolutely anything.
Fill
It's
in the
with
blank.
you, even you're very consistent in so many areas, like consistently listening to Abraham every morning,
Yeah.
consistently writing your children's books every morning. And then there's other things in our lives that we're maybe a little bit more emotionally attached to
Mm-hmm.
that we don't think, or we're too attached to the trauma, we're too attached to the
Mm-hmm.
fear, we're too
Mm-hmm.
attached to, all of those like icky feelings where we just think, oh, rather avoid that
Yeah.
than really stay consistent towards it.
Yeah.
But then when we can sort of be stripped down to nothing, where it's like, okay, I don't know what's going to happen here, but I have to surrender.
Mm-hmm.
Then we stop talking. We stop talking to ourselves, creating sort of our, I don't know, avoidance,
Yeah.
rationale, our excuses.
Yeah.
And then when we hit that moment of surrender, it's like, fuck, okay, you got to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
Like, tell
Yeah.
me what to do and I'll do it. And that's the moment where you stop fucking talking
Yeah.
and you start opening up and listening.
Mm-hmm.
And
Because you have to
there's
be
magic
quiet to
there.
hear it. It is
Absolutely.
a whisper. If you were talking to a religious person, they would say God whispers.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's exactly right. When
Mhm.
you were flapping about all that's wrong,
Uh-huh.
you're still getting the whisper, but you can't hear it.
Yeah.
And this morning,
Yeah.
when I was listening to Abraham, she was talking about you are disconnected or you're connected. And when you're disconnected, you're tired and you're grumpy and you're depressed and you're full of anxiety and fear or rage or anger, all of those. So rather than go, oh shit, I'm depressed today, or I'm angry, or I'm fearful, it should be like, oh, I'm disconnected.
Mm.
And when she put it that way, it was like,
Yeah.
because when we're connected, we are looking for interesting things. We're curious. When you get the idea to get some paint by number canvases,
Yeah.
you buy them because you're curious about what will that feel like? What will that look like? Can I do that? And you get those impulses and you act on them, and then it leads to something else. And it was timely because I
Yeah.
thought, well, it's easy. You're disconnected or connected. So every morning to kind of scan yourself, am I connected? How do I feel? I feel
Yeah.
pretty good. Yeah, you're probably connected.
I had
And
a conversation with a client just yesterday. She is experienced a lot of hurt
Mm-hmm.
over a situation and sadness. And she was spending a lot, like too much time in that story.
Yeah.
And you know how I say, like feel it without the story. But the problem was she wasn't letting herself. Like it takes some practice or not even practice. It doesn't take practice. It takes discipline
Yeah.
to sit in your feelings that are uncomfortable and to not feed them with the story, to not try to story your way out of them or into them.
Yeah.
It takes
Justify
discipline.
it. Well, of course I feel this way because of this and this and
I
this.
deserve to. This isn't fair. All the
Yeah.
rest of that bullshit that we talk. So
Yeah.
it takes discipline. That's it. It doesn't take practice.
Yeah.
And so she was not at the discipline stage, let me tell you. She wasn't willing to sit in the sadness without like justifying it and being pissed at the other person
Yeah.
that she can't control in the situation. And so she said, I don't like this feeling. Like, no, no one does. And also you felt it for too fucking long, way longer than 90 seconds, because she's not willing to really like sit in it without the story. So what I said to her is, if you're not willing to do that, and there's a situation you can't change, that you feel sad over and that you feel hurt over, what can you focus on that is outside of that situation where you can like get excited again? Just like your paint by number canvas, just like redoing your chairs.
Yeah.
There is like, if you're not willing to get to the place where you're disciplined enough to sit there, or you're sitting there feeling it, but you keep coming back to it, bringing it back because it still doesn't feel fair to your brain,
Yeah.
you got to kind of focus on what will bring you connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that is disconnected from source.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
so, doing something else does get you connected. I love that you're kind of like, well, what would I have in here? I've heard sometimes people say, well, this chair that sits in this room, what do you want to be? Like, what does the chair want to be? I'm
Mm.
sure the chair would say, Leigh, I want to be dark purple. I sit in your wealth gua.
Yeah.
I want to be royalty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know, it feels so good.
I feel like I've sort of connected in some way to that wisdom. Like with
Mhm.
everything that's going on with me, not me,
Yeah.
but in my world,
Yeah.
I remember and literally this would have put me in bed under the covers
Mhm.
in years past. But instead, I've got this knowing I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how things are going to work out,
Yeah.
but I know that all of this is happening for good.
Mhm.
And everything is lining itself up. I just can't see it all right now. And it's this weird peace, calm knowing that I don't have to control it. In fact, if I'll get my hands out of it and
Mhm.
not try to manipulate any certain outcomes, then it will turn out even better than I would have ever thought to ask for.
Yeah.
And so that's happening personally very close to me.
Yeah.
But it's given me a new perspective of all the chaos that's going on in our world right now.
Yeah.
Because I was watching some of the stuff and almost feeling horrified and disgusted. And then I went, oh, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It is the exact same thing. And I can sit and be mad and angry and fearful and have strong opinions about it all day long.
Mhm.
Or I can sit in the knowing that all of this is happening
Yeah.
at just the right time. Now, does that mean I won't say anything or do anything or participate in anything? No, but I will be inspired when I do it.
Yeah.
And it will come from a knowing and not a fear-based reason for me feeling like, well, I have to do this or this, it will be more organic and authentic.
Yes. And I feel like when we get to that place of surrender, our actions become powerful
Yeah.
because we're not succumbing to them. We are connected, not disconnected.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I see activists, I see so friggin' triggered
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
so like being controlled by a narrative, being controlled by something else,
Yeah.
not acting in their highest good,
Yeah.
you
And
know?
not
And
only that,
when
go
we
ahead.
can be calm
Mm-hmm.
and not emotionally reacting,
Yeah.
you can be emotional about a situation, but respond or act without that lack of control,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think it's so powerful.
I have friends who are activists, and one in particular, she leads a pretty big group, thousands and thousands and thousands of people. And I love what she's trying to do, but she gets wrapped up in it. It is her life.
Mhm.
And things start spinning out in her personal life to where she's got all of this stuff to deal with her home, with her parents, with her kid, like, and she'll talk about this is going on and this is going on. And
Yeah.
I'm like, where are you focused? But she can't hear
Oh,
it. But
I
in my
know.
mind, I'm like, oh, well, I know why all those things are happening.
Yeah. And even if she was, because she's so focused on the chaos,
Trauma and fear.
trauma and fear and being controlled and all of that stuff. So then it becomes when we're focused on that, we can see it in our personal lives too.
Yeah.
And then we feed it. I mean, at
Yeah.
any point in time, you could sit in your situation right now and you could see it in a completely different way
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
than you are.
Mm-hmm.
And you would be maybe the person curled up in the fetal position in bed,
Mm-hmm.
or worse, wrapped up in this chaos and in this emotional disconnection and emotional
Yeah.
sort of instability. You could see your life in that way. I think what people think, there was a quote that I wrote on my Instagram page, and it was like, the biggest problem we have is that people think we shouldn't have problems.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And, you know, women that come to me, no matter, they might be doing things like, it might look like their lives are perfect. I guarantee they're not. They're not.
Mm.
But they're choosing not to focus on the problems.
Yeah.
Or if they're coming to me, they're trying to not focus on the problems.
And that doesn't mean ignoring,
Doesn't mean ignoring.
not
No,
the same thing,
no.
but
It means processing them and not holding on to them, though.
yeah. And
Right? It's,
I was talking to my mother, I think yesterday, and I was telling her, you know, when we get on the other side of this situation, we will then see how beautifully everything worked out. Now, there are things that I do not have control over, but I can look back on past things in my life and how things that looked really big and scary and undoable
Yeah.
were not so scary, were very doable, and I made it through just fine. And when I get on the other side of it, I went, oh, this was a gift. This
Yes.
happened for me. And
Yeah.
so, although there's a lot of unknowns for us right now, we know the end,
Yeah.
which is that everything is going to work out. And so we are watching things unfold and going, I'm not going to make this mean anything more than what it is right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's a peace in that of
Mhm.
trusting, well, this doesn't feel very good right now, but
Yeah.
this is helping me get to where I want to be. So I'm trusting.
It's reaching your hand out.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
reaching your hand out for support, for that, wisdom, for God, for the universe, for whomever,
Yeah.
to just kind of drag us along in faith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Faith and fear
Mm-hmm.
can only occupy one,
Yeah.
one at the time.
One or the other.
Yeah.
But with that, I think we are
At
out.
a time.
Thank you, Sandra. This was great.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you next Thursday on the Happy Half Hour. Bye.
Bye.